All right, here we go. Another one.
Eh,
All right. So daylight savings time.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Yeah. I was just having this conversation with my wife. I feel like every time it happens, we have the same conversation of like, why do we still have it? And then why does Arizona not have it?
Eh, I don't get it. I don't get it. I thought there was a law that was passed, to forego all these changes,
But,
in
yeah, I
time.
think they were talking about it, but it never got passed. Like they tried to pass the bill in Florida when we were living there, and then I heard the same thing here in Texas, but I don't know why they want to keep it. It doesn't make sense
It's
to me.
it serves no one anymore. I mean, if I recall correctly, the whole changing of the clocks was, to benefit, farmers,
Yeah.
and yeah, back in the olden days. Uh, Anyways, doesn't seem to
Yeah.
serve anybody other than, create more depression, I think, amongst people.
I hated it when working in the hospital because you'd either stay an extra hour longer or you would leave an hour earlier, but it
And
would mess
our,
up it would just mess up like your notes. So like if there was a medication that you needed to give out like every 2 hours or something, like now it kind of messes things up. So you have to
oh, that's
like
true.
make that noted in the shift change. But yeah, it is weird, I guess, that we still have it. But
Yeah, that is true.
okay,
How are
I
things
don't.
otherwise? I saw,
Uh,
has your son,
yeah,
he was a little ill yesterday. And,
yeah, yeah. I mean, go figure. It's like we should have got a costume at Costco. He wanted to be a police officer, so like it was like a month before Halloween, and Costco had all their Halloween outfits out, and we're like, no, like we'll come back and we'll go to different stores and see if you really want this costume. There might be another one, and so we did. But then when I went back to Costco to go pick it up, it wasn't there anymore. Like they don't have any more costumes. So we were searching for a costume that he wanted, and like he was kind of disappointed, and because they get to wear them at school too for like some
yeah,
parade.
yeah,
So,
that's good.
we spent this time trying to find the costume that he would go out trick-or-treating, and then he didn't end up going. His head hurt, which, you know, it hurt him enough to where he didn't want to watch tablet, and he's a big TV fan. And that's whenever I was like, okay, like he definitely doesn't feel well. But you know, he has enough candy. We did trunk or treat for the soccer club that we're with, and then my mom sent over tons of candy for Halloween, and then school they got to do I guess some sort of parade thing. So he went as Batman. But yeah, my oldest went out, and there's like these streets where they like go all out for Halloween and Christmas and stuff around here. But my wife said that this year it wasn't as good as last year. And last year it was like fog machines at every other house.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was just,
Eh,
it's this
People are
one
going all
street.
out.
Yeah, it's like, I don't remember what it's called. We have another one over here on Robinson Street, and it's called Candy Cane Lane, and they do Halloween and Christmas. Uh, but we're going to go check out the Christmas, but we didn't know if you were able to like park anywhere because these are all in subdivisions. And so the Christmas you can just go in a line and then you curve around, I guess, and look at all the houses. But it has a 4.9 star review on Google for that street, and there's like
Oh, wow.
50
Eh,
reviews, which I've never seen a street have Google reviews, but it's all about that the
Yeah, there's a
Halloween and
street
Christmas.
here in Baltimore. I think that it dates back, I think, into the 60s. Yeah, 32nd Street. Yeah, that goes all out with the Christmas, decorations, and it is an attraction. Yeah, yeah, you know,
Yeah, I
people
would like to go to those
drive
places
to.
that have like haunted houses, like legit, like where I guess
Uh,
people have been murdered in and stuff, and they try to like deck them out to make
I would not.
like a scene out of it. That'd be great.
That would not be a house I'd go to. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she would probably be intrigued by all of that. Nonsense. She watches the ID channel and all those murder shows. I guess that they do replays on the ID channel. I just get
Yeah.
all wigged out about it. So yeah, when I was a youngster, and I still probably won't do it, but I hated going to like the cemeteries. Yeah, and I would avoid them. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, at night, just bad juju for me, man. I'm not into the creepy Halloween stuff. And yeah, I
Yeah.
like for the kids to dress up and them have fun. But yeah, the old creepy stuff and lifestyle of goth and everything else. Yeah, nah, hard pass.
uh do you growing up like those things that were like super big, like whenever you're like thinking back, you're like, man, like that cemetery was huge or whatever, and then you go back and you visit it and it's like tiny.
Tiny, yes.
Like, what was my problem? I had that same realization whenever we went to Halloween. It wasn't Halloween Horror Nights, Hallow Scream. And I remember going to one of them where I was like maybe 12, 13, and I was like, man, this was like really scary. But I'm pretty sure it was back in the day whenever they were allowed to actually grab you, but now
Yes,
they can't. And that's what made it
yes,
scary, was like them grabbing
yes.
you. So, but we went this year, or not this year, 2 years ago to Howl Scream, like Busch Gardens. And I was like, this is not scary at all. Like, it's not, I don't know. It's just loud noises that
It-
kind of catch you off guard.
yeah, yeah. And so
Uh,
what else is going on with what's going on with ancient nutrition?
uh, we got a really cool product that's coming out, and it's part of a like a promo package that we're selling into our buyers accounts. And it's a protein powder. It's an animal blend. There's nothing like it on the market right now,
Animal
which is
blend.
great. Yeah, so Ancient Nutrition, what we do is premium products at premium prices, and that is the demographic we're going after. These things aren't cheap. So like the animal protein is an all-in-one for the consumer. It is the multi-collagen protein blend that we have, so 10 different types of collagen, fermented eggshell membranes, uh, colostrum, or A2 whey protein, or A2 milk protein with whey protein, and our bone broth protein. So it's all in one.
That sounds
And
interesting.
and again, like usually people are off put by bone broth because of the saltiness and kind of bitterness, I guess, and earthiness. And then they don't really like uh, like if you were put it into a shaker cup, the MCP, like the multi collagens, just because it congeals and coagulates. So this one, it actually doesn't. It blends really nice. But we got that, and then we have three flavors, and then we have two flavors with creatine, with 5 grams of creatine in each, and that's a micronized creatine because our creatine it is micronized. We just don't put it on the label. And um, yeah, and then we have a new plant-based protein that's coming out, and the amino acid profile is more similar to a whey protein because we're
Okay,
using
that's good.
hydrolyzed pea protein. So smooth. And the only other company I know that actually uses hydrolyzed whey protein as like the main source is True Nutrition that does it by itself. And so far that's coming out. That'll be out probably in stores like end of November, December. And I've tasted them. They're good. Other than that, and other innovations, just bringing out single serve packets. For some reason, consumers love to try things, in single serves before buying a whole tub. But then I guess they want to like travel with it. But it's weird because it costs
The-
more for per serving when you buy it
yeah,
like that.
man, yeah, yeah. I I certainly don't mind, bagging things up and putting it in my luggage, when I'm traveling. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. But the convenience factor is there for many. So I can see single packets, but also the try before you buy, fully commit to a full tub. Yeah, that
yeah,
to me
that
has
comes in handy.
much more value, than shelling out $50 to not like the product, potentially. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
good that you guys are putting the amino profiles for the vegan. stuff, because that's critically important. I think, for people who are, wanting to understand and trying to hit, their loosen, thresholds, etc. So having amino profiles, I think it's, good for the consumer. And having
That's
that
one
kind
thing
of
I don't like about
transparency.
yeah, the I don't like about the plant-based proteins is just it's not catered toward muscle building in a way. From what I've seen, they do lack some amino acids, uh, the quantities that you need. But it's funny, the consumers, it's they they want the information, they want to know, but they don't understand the information and they don't understand. So like the lead testing in whey protein, like they don't understand that anything that's grown in the ground is going to have some sort of lead content. So like people don't understand like these tests that they do. So like the cow eats the grass is in the cow. Like there's all these different types of but plant-based protein is going to have a really high lead content
You're right.
when they see it, but they don't understand the values. So like these consumers want all this information, but I'm like, what are you going to do with this information? You're going to be fear mongered by someone, and so it's just weird questions that I see the customer complaints and stuff or customer inquiries. I see it on the company thread and some of the questions I'm like, man, like these people are pretty dumb. Like it, and I don't go and ask for like details about mechanical stuff or cars because I don't get it, right? Like it's not my niche. So I don't go and research them and then go to the mechanic and be like, are you sure you're right about this? Like this seems wrong to me according to Google.
But it is so easy, these days, to blow things out of proportion, create sensationalism and fear mongering. Yeah, it's actually, depressing. Yeah. And the more you see use of Chat GPT, just the quick answers, to things, versus critical thinking, the more depressing it gets. For me, anyways.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe,
What's
how
up?
you doing?
Okay. So I joined here a few minutes late. I was trying to slam a meal in, but it was bigger than I was expecting. So I apologize for
Dude,
getting
don't
late.
you know the latest science is meal timing does not matter, bro? Come
I
on.
still I didn't want to be eating fish on a podcast and getting all over the beard and getting all kinds of weird comments like, why does he have food in his beard? That's weird. That's gross. Why is he on the podcast? And I didn't want to invite that kind of criticism. But I mean, kind of
What
just,
type of fish?
this was barramundi, I think, because the store was out of cod.
The
What
amount
was
of
it?
fish that you eat is like crazy.
It's like
Barramundi?
barramundi.
Barramundi.
It's a white fish,
It's
but
a white fish, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I think it's a white, slightly oily fish, right?
it, it's still nothing like low fat content, but it definitely did have a little bit more moisture than cod. It seemed like
Mm.
a little bit, I don't want to say damper because it was air fried, but it did have kind of a little bit kind of a smoother texture to it. So maybe it's like one of those ones like the orange roughy that is indigestible fat. I
Ooh,
I don't know.
I
Rough is
like this
good.
orange roughy. I
I don't
can't
Rough is
think
ever
good.
find it, man. It's so hard to
uh,
find it. Whenever I find it, I'm like, I will take 10 pounds. And then it's like $200. Oh, crap.
and
Yeah,
some
I
of
agree.
the meat counters around me have the orange roughy, but like, they don't have like prepackaged or anything. So they'll have like maybe half a pound out. And I go up to them and ask, like, hey, can I get 8 pounds? They're like, oh, we can get a huge frozen block of it. But then it thaws in my car and I get fish juice in my back seat.
Oh, no, no.
So I try and avoid that when I can.
All for the love of bodybuilding. No.
Uh,
How do you store it? Like whenever you freeze it, like what do you put it in?
uh, usually
That's
after you mean like when it's already been cooked or when it's raw?
When it's raw. Do you store it raw or do you just cook it and
No,
then
I
store
store
it?
it raw because like I'll shop for it like during the week and I'll cook it on the weekend. So
Yeah.
usually I let it thaw out in the fridge. I have like I got them at Costco. They're like some big food service, like they're almost like hotel pan size, but they're like that deep and
Mm.
probably a couple feet by a foot and a half. So I just store them in there and I collect as it melts in there, so
Joey,
I can
you
kind of
eat
just
that?
dump the water out.
Do you eat that amount of fish because you like fish, or you eat it because of the lower volume profile?
I do genuinely enjoy fish. Like, I mean, a
Okay.
nice, get non-body, like a nice fish taco would be great or something kind of like that. But really, a big part of it is, I mean, like 7,000 calories on training days. So I need a protein that digests really quickly because if I did like chicken or beef for those fish meals, it would just sit much heavier. So it'd be harder to eat the next meal.
Now you don't chase your meals with any enzymes, digestive enzymes, do you?
I do, yeah. They're like the Enzymedica. So it's like a white and yellow bottle.
Yeah.
So
Digest
it,
Gold.
yep, that's it. With bio ATP or something.
Yeah.
So they work nicely. I don't notice like a night and day difference by any means, but I throw in two with a meal. It can't hurt.
Andrew, do you use enzymes? Yeah, digestive enzymes.
I use betaine if I'm doing
Okay.
high protein, like only if it's fish or steak. But I do like fish. Oh, no, what did I say? Fish or steak? Only when it's chicken or steak. But I do like fish more often. I do. Man, I just had fish today too. But I'm trailer trash, so I ate tilapia. Um,
I've
but it's
had plenty of
that.
tilapia.
It's
They say
that
like,
or
oh, it's
salmon.
yeah,
I would
no.
prefer seafood over fish any day of the week. So give me shrimp, give me octopus. Yeah.
Shrimp is really good, but it's weird. A lot of the stores that I go to, a lot of their frozen brands of shrimp are just crazy high sodium.
Huh.
I'm not sure if it's how they're packing it or if it's just declaring it differently, but I've noticed a huge difference, like brand to brand, on the sodium packaging on them. So,
That's interesting.
I mean, I don't restrict sodium by any means, but I want to keep it consistent every day. And I do more like fish and seafood on my training days and then more chicken and beef on my off days. So it'd be a big fluctuation there between if I was doing like a lot of salt from those on my training days and then none of it on my off days.
You don't
So,
track salt, right? You just
no,
you don't track. Yeah, you don't
no, I
avoid it, but you
just
also don't track it.
no, I don't track it. I mean, it's supposed to be like 2 grams per meal, but that's like a quarter teaspoon. But I don't track it like the sauces or anything. I don't track it like a diet drink. So
Well, you probably will once you get into actual contest prep.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, there's like this brand of electrolytes Ben wants me to look into this. I think it's like a keto brand technically, but it's like 1,000 milligrams of potassium per serving and like no sodium. So
Hmm.
Mm.
a little bit strange about that, but from
Ben
what
from
he
Press
said,
Plan?
it's what's that?
You said, oh, Ben, your
Ben.
coach, Ben. Okay, I
Yeah.
was thinking Press Plan. Okay, never mind.
No. He said that he's noticed that if you are having a lot more water retention from GH,
Right.
then adding more potassium kind of can help reduce some of the edema.
So,
So he
okay.
likes some of the higher potassium ones.
I just use new salt for clients, and
Now,
I'm like, just sprinkle some of it on there, and you'll know if you take too much. Like you'll go, like blood pressure will drop too much.
uh, and I
Uh,
felt kind of like speaking of like kind of dropping blood pressure and weird stuff. I had the weirdest set today when I was training, and it's entirely my own fault, but
What were you
it was
training?
I was doing quads, and so I was doing hack
Jeez.
squats. It was
Same,
my top
same.
set. I got into it. I did like 2 reps, and then I immediately felt just like this huge hypo hit me in the middle of the set. Like I was feeling
hmm.
fine before, but just as soon as I kind of got into it, I was like, oh crap. And it was like the weirdest feeling because I felt 100% fine before, but then I had to go and chug like 50 grams of carbs for my intra directly after the set because I was just out of it. And
Did
it,
you
But
pin the insulin in a different muscle group this time, or same
no,
kind of
it
general
was
group?
the same amount of insulin, but I decided to be an idiot. And right before the lift, I said, "Hey, let's throw in some LR3 too."
Uh,
I pinned that in my quad right before,
okay.
so
Yeah, I
it's
always
entirely
wonder
my
if
fault for that.
I always wonder if you like, let's say you put your insulin like in your delt versus your quad versus your chest or something. Always wondered like if it would like have a more rapid response to
I
someone
would
if they're training a group of that muscle.
I would imagine so. And I mean, I was doing quads and I pinned the LR3 directly into my quads, and I started getting to my heavy set, it hit me. So, I mean, that could make sense, but I was like, oh crap, that is not a good feeling in the middle of your heavy sets.
How are
So
you
Joe, you're
liking that?
taking.
It
Sorry.
it was really good because today was my first day using it. I just got it in on like Thursday evening. The problem was I pinned it, and it's like a milligram vial, so I need to use the acetic acid with it. It didn't
Yeah.
bother me; it wasn't super painful or anything. But I took my dose out and I put the vial back in my little glasses case that I used to carry it to the gym. My glasses case fell, and the other 9 doses in the bottle broke.
Uh,
Uh,
So it's
so you're
like
using 100 micrograms.
I'm using 100
Okay.
micrograms per session, which is,
Bilateral or just
yes, splitting it quad quad.
so 50-50?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought,
Gotcha.
oh, god damn it. The very first time I use it and I break the vial.
That's a
yeah,
thin vial, man.
I was really surprised. Normally they hold up pretty well, but
I've
those are just
dropped
falling
test
just
vi
right.
I've dropped test vials from like chest height, and I'm 6 foot, and I'm like, this thing
I've
still
dropped
survived.
plenty of peptide bombs, but it was just this one. It's not sure if it landed like just wrong on the tile floor or what, but it was like, god damn it.
so help me understand. You already do GH. What's the thinking behind also pinning LR?
It's honestly, it was just kind of for a pump pre-workout because everything that I've heard people say is, oh, you have great pumps on it. So I thought,
Yeah.
oh, I'll start pinning in the muscle right before the workout. And he has me doing GH intramuscular, so it gets more the IGF right after the workout, anyways. So I thought, why not double down on it? But that was an interesting experience going that hypo at once.
Do you plan on doing MGF after?
No, should I?
Well, I mean, I'm curious. Like, I would like to see you, like, what you like. Let Ben kind of run this stint with the LR3, and then collect data from there. But
Mm,
I've seen people do LR3 before the workout and then after MGF into the same muscle group that they
Same also.
trained. So I'm curious because I always see people kind of buying that in a bundle and they ask about it. I personally haven't used it, and I haven't used AOD.
I haven't
Um,
either.
so I don't have any opinions about it, but I've heard the same thing from the LR3. It's just back in the day, like when it first started coming out, I felt like it was all faked, and I didn't trust it.
I didn't either. And for the longest time, I thought, honestly, for a long time, I thought all peptides were just BS until kind of the whole new wave of Retta and everything came out. And so I don't think, or sorry, I think for a long time it was thought it was almost like a replacement for GH. It's like, oh, you didn't
Yeah,
just basically, it's like you're taking Increlex. And I don't believe it's that. I just think it's not going to hurt to get an extra pump before a workout.
yeah.
So I don't know. It was fun to run. I got a great pump, but it was not fun to go hypo.
So what are you gonna? Are you
It's
gonna
in,
try it again?
I'm probably going to lower the Humalog dose beforehand because it was like I didn't lower that when I took the IGF. So I'm thinking that probably wasn't the best idea.
Yeah,
So, 'cause I mean, IGF is insulin like growth factor, so it does a lot of lowering blood sugar. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Joe,
But
stick to CGM, man. We want the data.
uh, no, just from how I was feeling, I was probably in the 40s there. So, the problem with a lot of CGMs is, from what I've heard, since it's measuring the interstitial space and the interstitial fluid in your muscle, and not like from your fingertip prick, it's almost like a 20-minute delay behind it. So if it
It's still
says, oh, I'm like 50 now, that means I was at a 50 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
yeah, but you're treating your symptoms. Yeah, 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 not necessarily going off of the number. You will do a comparison of how you're feeling and what that number says, at that particular time. And then you will still have data 20 minutes later or 15 minutes later, see if it can continue to go down.
That's true. I mean, I think also just a lot of it is I don't want to be walking around with something on the back of my tricep all day because I know I'm gonna get a million and one questions around the office from it.
They might grow. You never know. Anything for some extra growth.
I'm more curious about like people that are using that and building muscle pretty rapidly if they get scar tissue easily around that area. I know it's a small needle, but still, it's like if you're working out triceps and you get this nasty pump and you keep doing it, like does it build up a little scar tissue? Because
It's
I
got
can
to. I mean,
feel,
you're constantly abrading the area, back and forth, creating micro tears, for sure.
yeah, because no one ever talks about that. But I also haven't seen like lumps and when the people take it out. So I don't know. Can you guys
So,
hear
Joe,
my kids running upstairs?
nope.
Okay,
Yep.
okay,
No.
good. They're playing
So, Joe,
basketball.
you're one of those that prefers to take something on a leg day to get a pump? Because I'm like avoiding pump, ingredients like
Yeah, there's
nobody's
more.
business.
I don't
For
necessarily
legs.
avoid. I don't necessarily avoid like trying to take pump products, but I also wouldn't do anything like, oh, I'm gonna take extra pump products on leg day. It happened to be leg day. That was my first time using LR3.
Yeah, I'm fine with a little bit, citrulline, in there, but to seek extra like nitrates or some of the other, pumpy, ingredients, I'm like, no thanks.
I may have taken 20 grams of glycerol also along with Apollo's Triumph and 3 grams of betaine nitrate and an extra half gram of Vasodrive.
Jesus Christ, and your blood pressure is still, what it is?
It's beautiful. It was 117 this morning.
That's good. That's good. That is good.
So,
I do
Mike,
like
do you?
Apollon's. Hold on a second, Andrew. I'm
Yeah,
sure I know Joe is a fan of Apollon. I do like their new pump capsule product that came out. That and I think what's his name Snoop did a reel that has health benefits to it. People don't talk about often the health benefits that one gets from the ingredients that induce visual relaxation, or pump. So Apollon's new product is actually yeah a good one, to maintain vascular health, as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Before I ask you that question, Mike, I was talking with my optometrist, and he's pretty on point with me and about sports performance as well. He knows a bit about it, and he was looking in the back of my. They did that picture thing where it shows you your whole eyeball and the
Yep.
scar tissues and stuff.
Yeah,
And I have that where all of your cords come out through this tiny little hole in the back of your eye that can get smaller, and that means that there's like too many. He said that people typically get that whenever like what they see is this is a correlation, obviously, when they have too many nitrates in their body, and they also and like pump products. So you'll see it in people who take Cialis, so like and Viagra. So these people that are getting like lost vision, it's because it's narrowing that hole and it's squeezing those those
yeah,
nerves and
the
those blood
nerve.
vessels. So ever since he told me that, because he's like mine are very small, and he's like, do you have? And my eyes are pretty bad, but I don't have like vision issues with like blurriness or anything. But he's like, it may happen. So he was like asking me about like my new like
Holy shit!
supplementation, and so like I've cut back on some nitrates now because I am a big fan of getting a pump on leg day. Whenever I was powerlifting, no, because I just wanted to feel my entire body contract to lift one weight, one rep max. But now I want as much blood flow as possible because then I feel the contraction. I can control the contraction better. So I
Mm.
personally love pumps. Now, I'm also not going to do anything explosive that day if I'm wanting to get a pump. So I'm not going to do um, like cleans or anything. So if I'm going to do cleans or sled sprints, I'm not going to want to pump. But if I'm just, hack squat, leg press, all the little machines, yeah, man, I want to pump in my legs. Like I don't understand why more people don't want that if you're not doing a one like
I
if
don't
you're not
want
doing like
extra.
athletic. See,
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
personally, I
I
don't
can
want
get
the extra,
more.
pump. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So
it's painful enough, yeah, as is, and I do get
oh,
a pretty good pump. I don't want, yeah, overload, the pump, per se. So to me, yeah, if you're going deep and you're doing like pendulums or hacks, and your legs are already, pretty pumped, yeah, it can get, yeah, pretty juicy and painful.
without pump products, like my legs, they don't get more pumped. I'm able to push more weight with more like I'm able to do more volume. And for me, that's like
Hmm.
I don't want to do that. So like I get a huge pump cycling, but I also take glycerol with cycling plus carbs, and that gives me a huge pump. But like on leg day, like if the glycerol nitrates, I mean, whatever I'm taking, I think I'm taking um, the Myo Blocks below right now, and then I'll switch that with like a Pro, the pump one. But
Hmm.
yeah, I want to see so many veins, and I want to see no more cuts in my leg. I want them just to be balloons.
So you're gonna send me down a rabbit hole because there have been occasions, where, well, I don't think it's a secret that, that I take quite a bit of, pre-workout, or heavy amounts of, pre-workouts. But there have been occasions where I've gotten, some blurry vision, and I wonder if, what you just said is, the is contributing, to that, side effect.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I haven't looked into it since he's told me because um ignorance is bliss. So so I have no idea, but if someone
and
out there
speaking
knows, they can comment.
and speaking of, was it a volume? I need to cut, this crap out. Like today, I had a great but brutal, leg day, and, hitting my numbers, progressing, and everything. So I'm like, shit, let's do another, another set. I was supposed to do, 5 sets. I'm, into sixes and sevens, and came home and paid the price. Yeah, for the extra volume. Had to literally, take a nap. Afterwards, I was just fried.
How many how many working sets do you do?
So all of mine are working sets. So I will. So if I say, I did 5 sets, those are all, working sets. So had, today was pendulum, leg press, leg extensions. That's total of 12, working sets. Into those three exercises. And that was, 5, 4, 3. Yeah.
Hmm.
There's 5 in the pendulum, 4 in the leg press, and, 3 on the extensions.
That is way more than I can do.
Yeah, working sets of one exercise. I've done like more sets just because I'm waiting for a machine, and then I'm like, F it. Like I'm not going to get to that machine, so I might as well just do 100 freaking reps here.
Yeah, I thought actually I was gonna stay on the pendulum all day because, both of the leg presses, were taken. So I was getting ready to strip, a little bit of weight, change the platform angle and put my feet lower, and just, do a variation, on the pendulum. But got jumped off, so I was able to continue my usual, routine, for today.
What leg exercise do you just dread? Like if you're like, man, I have to do this, or I should be doing this. I don't want to, but I'm going to make myself do it. What's that leg exercise?
That's all my damn leg days. Yeah, there. Well, we spoke about this, before. I have that, a little bit of anxiety. So I guess the big compound moves more so. So the pendulum, the hack would be my most dreaded ones. But again, after that first set where things didn't break, didn't go as bad, then you're find your groove and go into it. But
Yeah.
I don't get up for leg day. I just it's one of those that I know I got to do, and we do it.
What about you, Joe?
Feel like the stereotypical answer is Bulgarians, but I don't do those, so I don't dread them because I don't do them. The one that's actually in my plan that I hate that confuses everyone is I cannot stand leg extensions. Everyone seems to love them, but I don't get a pump from them. I just get knee pain.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't
What
suffer
machine do
from
you
that.
use?
I've used all kinds. I've used like the Prime. I've used like the Strive. I'm currently using it the Cybex, and that
Mhm.
one seems to do the best. But I just get like really bad patella pain
Hmm.
whenever I try and do any kind of extension. And I mean, I can do them, and I can feel the quads, but I really don't get like that huge pump from them by any means. So like everyone just, oh, we just love extensions, like, the greatest pump thing in the world. It feels like you're just about to blow your quads up, and just I don't feel like I get much from them, and they hurt so bad that I just hate them.
I think I can
Leg
get you a
extensions
pump
are
on them.
there. Yeah, leg extensions for me are just there for the a little bit of emphasis on the rec fam. But I guess I could do sissy squats, as well. And you can do sissy squats on a hack machine. Yeah, that would hit the rec fam. Um, but yeah, they're usually my yeah last exercise. For me.
Now, the way they're currently programmed at the moment on my quad days, it's my very first exercise. And so he was having me do them before any other quad movements, just trying to kind of get the knees warmed up and get the blood in the quads.
Mm.
But he said, because I was complaining about it to him like a little wuss, he says, okay, we're going to take the next 2 weeks and do no extensions. And he had me doing like some extra stretching and rehab work on them. And today, I was my leg day with the least amount of knee pain I've had in months. And I did no
Hmm.
extensions.
On extensions, do you let your heels go all the way to your butt? Like you try to drag it all the way back and sit forward?
I get as far back as the range of motion on the machine lets me get.
Mhm.
I'm not
Uh,
putting those hustler pads on by any means, but I go
mhm.
back as far as the machine does.
Yeah,
Have you
prime
ever
lays
done
back
like
pretty nicely.
I don't know what they call them, but I call them piston reps. It's like you barely go and then you go full. So you do like half, 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 full, half, 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 full, half, 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 full.
Yeah, one and a half.
I've
Yeah.
never tried those. No, I mean I've
Because like
done.
that seems to work with people as far as like PT, just to get blood flow. You don't doing full, like not doing full range of motion, um, and then just kind of getting that point to before it affects your patella tendon, just to get that blood flow. And then once you get enough blood, and then like then you'll go up to a
Stabilize.
full rep. So like I would even do full reps for you. I would just do partials the entire time.
No, I'll have to probably try it out. I'm trying to give him a rest for the moment, but I
Yeah.
do have to try it out. His theory, and I'm not sure I entirely agree with it, but his theory is it may be a psoas issue because I also have issues on they call it like linear hack squats where you're almost kind of like bent at the hip rather than having the pads on your shoulders.
Yeah,
Do you know
I
what I'm
know what
talking
you're.
about, Andrew?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
those kind
mean,
of movements give me issues too. I feel I do a lot better when I'm laying completely flat. So he thinks it may be kind of like
uh,
a either like an adductor or a psoas issue.
could be a SOAS. I mean, the longer you sit and you're in accounting,
Yeah,
so like truck drivers, bicyclists, like anything that's where you're stuck in that
90-degree
position,
bend.
it tightens the psoas, and then that leads to like also a tightened IT band. But uh, yeah, I mean, probably, or it's usually IT band. I find it to be IT band the most. Um, Matt, I mean, I would have, Ben probably knows. I mean, he sees a lot of people, so I would think that it would be so as, especially since you're laying down, it relieves it.
Mhm. So
But
no.
I mean, I would almost get an opinion from Matt Chrisman, the guy that works at MI40, and see because he when he worked on me because I had uh, my patella tendon reattached, so patella tuberosity, and so
Okay.
I get that pain from my IT band whenever it gets really really tight, and that I can feel it pulling. Like right now, I can feel it kind of pulling on my patella.
No, I'll try to get also like a second opinion, either from Matt or the bodywork person here in Minnesota. Actually, like the person you go to is like based out of my gym. So she works on like Charles Griffin and Felix Norman and
Okay,
really kind of all the big man guys here in the area. So I may
yeah,
try and go
that's
to
cool.
her just because she can kind of a little more hands on and like actually do some body work on it as well. So because I've always described pain or like, oh, it hurts most when I'm doing this versus that. We should kind of get more hands on like, oh, if I push here, this helps.
Yeah,
That'd be my only kind of thing with trying to do like a virtual consult because I've
yeah.
done kind of virtual consults for other things in the past, and it really doesn't work well for me. I'm sure it does for some telemed stuff, like virtual posing calls and stuff do nothing for me.
Yeah, I
I
just
hate
DM
those.
Matt. I'll DM him and I'll be like, "Hey, I got this problem," and he kind of like tells me.
Hey
But
Joe,
yeah,
yeah,
that's funny.
What's up, Mike?
yeah, yeah. You guys have quite a few Prime machines. I'm curious if this is
This
a common experience. Yeah, on Prime machines. If you have Prime machines, I thought I heard you say that you did. Do you find that the small incremental adjustment, contraption that they have adds way much more friction, to the exercise than adding, a regular weight?
I
Yeah, like an adder weight.
I don't think I've seen like the like you mean like the ink like say like adding like 5 or 10 instead of
Mhm.
so all the prime pieces that I've actually used have been plate loaded. So I haven't like to use that
Okay.
little adjuster. But I will say I've used quite a bit of prime and also quite a bit of strive. And to me, I think they can be great if you know how to use them. But way too many gyms are trying to get them, and their members have no business really using them because it just overcomplicates it. Like, oh, I'm going to load it on all these pegs and trying to overcomplicate things.
Oh,
Like, it's your first day in the gym. You don't need to be worrying about loading profiles. You should need to learn how to work.
no. Yeah, my loading profile is always the same, 3. Yeah, on on those machines, I don't get cute with mid-range and top range. Yeah, yeah, loading profiles. It's always the same, hard at the stretch. Yeah, versus easy. Yeah, yeah, at the stretch, and
Mm-hmm.
just go from there. But I find that we don't have the plate-loaded machines, and I suspect those would not have this issue. But the pin-loaded ones, yeah, it seems like the micro adjustments, if you're using them, are not the best design. They just add way too much, much more friction than what you're trying to adjust to.
I mean, it definitely wouldn't surprise me because, like I was kind of saying, I'm not a huge fan of prime equipment in general. So it wouldn't surprise me if they're getting a lot of friction there. So that's just kind of my 2 cents.
Yeah, we have Arsenal, Cybex, all Cybex, Panadas, yeah, some primes, and then hammer strings.
No, the gym that I go to, it's more of a collection of old school pieces. The big chain here in Minnesota, Los Campeones, pretty much their strategy is we'll buy the entire Panada equipment package and the entire Atlantis equipment package, and we'll call it a day. And I don't like either of those brands, so I don't go to those gyms.
Yeah. Not some pieces of panada are okay. Most, yeah, yeah, I don't care for.
I just worry about it from like an owner perspective because there are so many moving parts and so many joints on it. I feel like unless you really know how to fix the machinery, it's really easy to have half your gym down for maintenance at once.
That's the one good thing about our gym. They're on top of maintenance. Or if something breaks, it is fixed. The next day it's back online. Nothing stays offline. For more than a day.
What gym do you go to?
It's a place called Anarchy here in Maryland, it's, west of Baltimore.
Hmm. I go to EOS just because it's close and they have a daycare.
I mean, that
It
makes
used to
sense.
be
I
Gold.
know,
Yeah, mine used to be a Gold's Gym. It was just bought and rebranded.
I know a lot of people like those lifetime gyms because
Um,
it's not that the gym itself is great. It's that it has like, oh, it has the sunbeds, it has the pool, it has daycare, it has like all the other things built in with it.
So
And
It's like
I
I
actually,
$250 a month.
yep, I there's like 400 for a family package.
so I used to go to a gym. In fact, my wife still does. She splits between the old gym that I used to go to and Anarchy. And they made the comment, which I was like, I was starting to get very frustrated with they would bring in new machines that and I was getting frustrated with the machines that they were actually bringing in. And the general manager, finally said, "We are a health club, not a gym." The next day, I was no longer, a member because he made a good point. They're trying to serve a different clientele, being a health club, versus, a little bit more of a hardcore, gym.
Yeah. I like the hardcore gyms. I mean, if I lived closer to Destination Dallas, that would be my gym. Even if I lived closer to some of these other ones that you see Brett and Martin working out at, that'd be great. But Conroe is like an hour away from me. So it's just maybe if I'm up in the area, I'll drop in for a day pass, but I don't want to spend 20 bucks.
That's the thing. A lot
Yeah,
of those also, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, uh, when I'm on travel, I'm like, seeking experience, gyms, and an experience. There's a old style World's Gym, in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Love that place. And then there's a Gold's Gym that's pretty decent when I go to Augusta, Georgia. I was talking with John Boy, from Price Plow about that. Although he said this one other gym that he's going to is actually pretty nice. I'm gonna have to try that. But traveling, I'm always trying to seek new gym experiences.
Well, there are a lot of great gyms out there. Usually, when I'm traveling, going trying to go like national parks and stuff, so I don't go to the gym. Like, oh, I'm going hiking for 10 hours today instead. So catching is just weeks off the gym normally. But there are some really
Yeah,
great ones out there. Like I said,
I
like
will.
Andrew said, I'd be interested in some of those Texas gyms. I feel like absolute recomp would be fun for like a day pass, but I would not want to have a full time membership there just with kind of the whole atmosphere.
Oh, I don't like it.
No, but
I'll
I
have
feel
to
like
be
Dude,
have to
there's
be
like
anything.
marble everywhere. It's like marble, marble, marble. And I feel like, I don't know. It's kind of like Lifetime. Like there's like chandeliers in Lifetimes, like at least the one
Jesus.
here. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. But
I
I don't know.
have
Plus there's a lot of
debating
tripods.
Yep.
taking a conference out in Las Vegas just so I can go gym hopping. During the conference week. Vegas seems to have some nice gyms.
Yeah. I don't remember which ones I went to back in the day. But they
The
have
new
so many more popping up. It's like
yeah
nonstop.
that new tech gym looks pretty nice. Obviously, Dragon Lair is a favorite spot. Although I think that one is probably smaller than most people think. Uh, But yeah, there's several good gyms to try out.
Just changing the subject here. I did get two questions for this week if you wanted to try and answer them because I know that wrap up here
Yeah,
at some point.
let's go.
This may be a bit more of an Andrew and I question because you don't take everything we do, Mike. But I was asked what would be considered a high dose of melanotan. What would kind of be either the pros or cons of running it high? And to me, at least, anything over like 300 micrograms a day is pretty high. And really, the main kind of downsides that you can see from it is number one, it can be pretty nausea inducing. If you take it too close to a meal, it can make you want to throw up. And then also, people say like it can potentially exacerbate skin cancer. I haven't seen that personally, but I have seen like moles get a little bit darker, but I haven't noticed any new ones. So those are kind of the two big things I'd be looking at worrying about. But I mean, really, I think the only upside, and Andrew can correct me here, is you get tan and you're not going to get sunburned. I don't think it like does great things to your lipids or any bad things for that matter, but I don't think it really touches blood work that much other than just darkening your skin a little bit. What say you, Andrew?
Gives you awesome boners.
A lot about that one.
Yeah, and a flushing effect sometimes, and nausea. So just that boner part, it's more of that PT141 compound that's in melanotan. But I've seen people run 500 micrograms right before going to bed, but they have to get sunlight and first thing in the morning. It's my friend TJ. We got 10 more minutes before I got to hop off. He should know about melanotan. But I'm so white. I've done melanotan in the past. Hey man, we're talking about melanotan and the dose. Like, what's the highest dose you've seen people use? I've seen 500 micrograms.
Yeah. What Scott Stevenson, didn't he take some crazy doses back in the day?
I think didn't he do like a milligram or 2 milligrams? Like he was like up there.
Yeah.
Like he was pretty high.
No, the highest I've personally known someone take is the dose that you've taken, but I've heard stories of people taking some crazy doses. I've actually personally never used it, which I'm pale as can be, so I probably should have.
Because you're from Minnesota.
Hey, Minnesota's up here.
Yeah. This is Joe's from Minnesota.
Oh, so. Nice. What part?
I'm in Bloomington right now.
Okay, nice. My brother lives in Edina still, so when I visit, I'm in Edina.
But it gets cold in the winter, but I like it.
Yeah, when I moved to Florida, I left a week almost negative 40 back in 2017. And then I got here, it was like 60 degrees. It was a nice little swing. Do you ever train at Los?
Yeah, actually, I used to go there. I'm at a different gym now just because I feel like kind of the culture of the gym has changed at Los, but they got some nice locations.
I haven't been there in so long. Back in the day, it was the spot.
Still, there's a lot of good people who go there. So it'd be some places are kind of good community, but also there's a lot of really like influencer kind of people there now because people know it's the bodybuilding gym to go to. So
yeah, I could see that. But what gym do you train at? Go ahead.
Go.
Now it's called Jacked and Lean. It's up in Rogers, Minnesota. He just opened it last year. So it's a nice gym. It's a little bit smaller. I think it's like 12,000 square feet, but he has like 150 pieces crammed in there. So it's packed, but there's a lot of nice stuff in there.
Right. I only ask because I always like to try new gyms, especially ones that have opened since I left. So next time I'm back in Minnesota, I'm going to have to check it out.
It's a nice spot.
Awesome. Back on topic since I ruined everything.
No, you're good. I think that was it about the melanotan. I don't take it. I don't really, I don't have people taking it.
I just I had a question about it, but I think it may be because I walked into the gym one day and I looked distinctly different from taking it. Because I was doing like 350 micrograms a day for like 2 weeks. And the front desk guy, his girlfriend is black, and he said that I looked like her dad. So
I don't know if it goes that far, but
it got me real dark.
I'd be like, don't
I
shoot
know
me.
Ian Valier was using it, yeah, yeah, to help with his coloring, yeah, and stage presence because
I don't know,
he's
Skip
also
Hill, man.
quite pasty.
Skip
Skip does not look
Hunches.
like a white guy, dude. I'm
No.
like, when he said he was white, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
What's the other question?
The other question that the guy asked was, when you're taking a whole bunch of peptides, do you ever mix them in the syringe?
I don't mix Retta or a GLP-1 with anything.
No,
Uh,
what I kind of told him just over message, I told him he would answer it on the podcast, but uh, most things, if you're like, it's too expensive to risk mixing them in case like they denature or get pushed out of suspension. So just take a second shot. Some of them, like the BPC and TB, the KPB, like the whole Kalo blend, I'll mix those because they come mixed in some concentrations.
They
So I think
do.
like always it's probably okay to mix those, but for the most part, I keep them separate.
yeah, you just don't want to mix GLP-1s with anything. And then you also don't want to mix something that has, like, you got to reconstitute with backwater and then another one with acetic water. So like you wouldn't mix your LR3 with
No.
uh, GH, you know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you would mix that with anyways. But
Maybe
yeah,
I can get like
usually
pump blend or something, but
yeah. Oh yeah, don't mix it with like an amino acid like carnitine.
yep.
But I, I mean, I'd be interested to see what would happen. You probably would get a bad, like acetic acid and something else. You might get a bad pip, but I think you're just wasting your money, like you said. What?
I mean, I will say when I was uh incriminating myself here, making my acetic acid, you use back to make it.
Yeah. Isn't the pH different though?
Yeah, so I mean the pH
Yeah,
is
yeah,
different, so it would mess up peptides that are in it, but like
Yeah.
the benzyl alcohol itself doesn't mess with anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't want to mix LR3 with anything else anyways. So
Hey TJ, have you used LR3?
I have not yet, but ever since you've been talking about it more, uh, it's I'm in a position where going through all the fertility stuff, I haven't been on pretty much anything that's not the HCG and Clomid for way too long. So I'm excited to actually start playing with some stuff once I get to that point.
You're like
But
full blown woman right now. I'd be so
oh, dude,
emotional.
it sucks so bad. I
no
don't know why people would
FSH.
choose this life. Like, why would you feel like this when you could be jacked and happy?
Andrew,
Well,
you have an opinion on CJC?
I don't use it. I typically, if someone wants like a precursor for uh, growth hormone, I usually just stick with uh,
Tesamorelin.
tesamorelin. Yeah,
APA, Tessa or APA?
Just tesamorelin, just because. I mean, IPAM. I do have a guy that's on IPAM, and he is losing body fat really well. But his stress level's also really down. So I don't know what's what. But
Which
uh, but the tesamorelin, I mean, I look at that more for reducing or managing visceral body fat.
the visceral
And I
fat?
think I think there's more health things that we might see from that, like maybe something to help with arterial health. Because, the big kick right now, the next thing I see coming in waves, like this GLP thing is going on right now, and this MOTS-C and 5-amino. I think the next one is like what peptide is going to do what nattokinase does to our blood vessels. And I think something like tesamorelin or, might help with that. But I just don't think we use a high enough dose. So
On Tessa?
yeah, like maybe like using that plus ARA 290. That's what I'm thinking So like my wife is taking ARA-290 right now. We're trying to see if it can help mitigate a risk of her having cluster headaches again. So, right now she hasn't had a cluster headache in I think over a year, which is great, and that rarely happens. Usually one cycle every year, and it's one of these things that no one knows anything about, and you have to inject. I forgot what she injects, but it like slowly eats away at your nerves, and so the more she injects like every year, the more risk she is at that. Plus, this shot costs like $600 or something.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
And but like cluster headache, uh, people have cluster headaches, they typically commit suicide. So if they don't get to menopause, because it seems like like when they get to menopause, like the cluster headaches go away, and they're way more severe than migraines. Like she looks like she's having a stroke when she has one.
Jeez.
Yeah, like her whole
Oh, wow.
face, whole side of her face will just drop, and she's kind of useless. But when she had one during the first pregnancy, like when she gave birth, she had cluster headaches that night on our first kid, and
That's
that
fun.
sucked for her and for me because I'm like, I'm a new dad. I'm like, if you watch babies been born like in hospitals, the nurses like flip them over and they just like smack them, and they're resilient babies. But like as a parent, new parent, you're like, freak, what do I do? And then she wasn't able to like breastfeed and stuff, like have the hind milk come out. So a lot of these peptides, I made a post about this, about how like, I'm not a biohacker or influencer, but I'm just trying to figure
Yeah,
out
I
how
did
to
see that.
solve problems, man. And cluster headaches, it's like there's nothing out there. Like something's got to work. But
So you're
um
saying menopause is, yeah, brings relief to people who suffer from cluster headaches?
yeah, that's what it shows on their like little cluster buster groups. And but I don't find any research regarding hormones. So I have no idea. I think it has to deal with the circle of Willis, blood flow in the brain. I don't know, but
Interesting.
I don't know. But I got a hard stop. I got a consult call now.
Okay.
Thanks for hopping
Ugh.
on, TJ. Maybe you'll be free next week.
Yeah, you just give me a little heads up. I was literally
Yeah,
had a call that I was preparing to answer when you sent me that message. So
yeah. Yeah.
just got off that.
All
All
right.
right. Talk to you guys later.
Awesome.
Bye,
See ya.
guys.